Hello, everybody. Welcome to Berlin by night. And it usually is Philadelphia by night, but we're going back in time and over across the pond, and we're gonna fuck up some Nazis today. Um, we have a new face here, as you can see. This was like a really fun surprise. So we will actually start with you first, Taylor. This is your time to promote yourself, tell us who you are, who you will be playing today, and where we can find you.
Hi, my name is Taylor. You can find me on all social media as Spunky Taylor. I have she, her pronoun, and I'm playing tonight your lovely local gangrel Essence Cobra.
I love. And next to you on the left, we have Juicy.
Hi, I'm Juicy Garland, Boston area drag queen and super nerd, and I am Juicy Garland or Juicy.Garland on all the social medias, and I am playing Alexander tonight.
And I think the muted stuff should be resolved, Steve, behind the scenes. And them, who are you playing and where can we find you?
Hi everyone, Themme Faetale. You can find me on Threads and Instagram primarily. And tonight I will be playing our lovely little Sai.
Yay! And we have a couple really fun announcements today. The first, obviously, we are sponsored by Jody's Dice Farm. They are an ethically sourced and ethical business practice minded company that makes really amazing dice, some incredible VtM dice, and they have a coupon code for 10% off all dice. Philly by Night is the code to use for Jody's Dice Farm. And we have another sponsor for the month of June, Philadelphia Printworks. Philly Printworks is a Black-owned company that produces merchandise by BIPOC artists, and a lot of them funds go to charity and various organizations, and talk about community topics and historical events in their narrative design in all of their products. I'm wearing one right now. I'm rooting for everybody Black and trans for Pride Month. And today for our charity event, actually, do you mind muting yourself because I'm getting my voice feedback? I appreciate you. And then for this charity stream, if you donate anything to our charity of choice tonight, which I'll explain next, one random donator and the highest donator will each receive a shirt or a poster or a sweatshirt from Philadelphia Printworks, whatever item you choose, and you let me know, and I'll let you know who wins, and then you let me know, and then we'll pick it out together and I'll send it your way. You just have to let us know in the chat that you donated so that we can put your name in the list. And with that, they also have a coupon code for the month of June, 15% off using Philly by Night 15 until June 30th, which is amazing. So thank you so much, Philadelphia Printworks. And our charity is Galay. They are a QT BIPOC founded, owned, and minded organization that provides resources, and services to the QT BIPOC Philadelphia community. So they were formed originally by the Latinx community to support folks in the HIV epidemic, but it just grew from there as the Philadelphia grew. They are really incredible people. I talked to some of them when I was getting this all set up, and they're very grateful for our support. And it's just a way to give back to the city I love so much. So we showcase all of the voices of Philadelphia as much as we can, and that includes the folks over at Galay. So that is who we'll be donating to, and if you do exclamation mark charity, you'll come up with a prompt with the link to the PayPal account. And with that being said, this is Vampire the Masquerade, so there's going to be a lot of blood, gore, horror themes about consent that tiptoe around that and humanity and mental health, and killing Nazis. So if any of them are something that makes you uncomfortable, this may not be the stream for you. But other than that, if you would like to stick around, we're going to tell a really great story. And are you all ready?
Oh, yes.
I am so ready.
I'm so excited.
Let's get started. I have a couple readings here to start us off. This is an idea stolen straight from Folk and Myth. So thanks, Folk and Myth. This is from the Nuremberg Museum. Germany after the First World War. The monarchy is at an end. In Weimar, the country adopts a new constitution. But the young republic stands on shaky ground. Germans have grown up under the Kaiser's rule, and many reject democracy, which they associate with military defeat and the humiliations of the enforced peace treaty of Versailles. Consequences of the war, chaos, hunger, immense state debt, and increasingly breathtaking devaluation of the currency are blamed not on the failed empire, but on the democratic parties. Until 1923, Germany is under the dictatorship of the street. Conditions close to civil war threaten the country with collapse. Revolutions and revolts from right and left almost always lead to the imposition of martial law. Leading politicians fall victim to assassins. Even later, violence and demonstrations by uniformed associations are still a political fact of life. Only from 1924 to 1929, a phase of political and economic stabilization, does the Republic appear to flourish. But the rising worldwide economic crisis does not spare Germany. Soon, more than 6 million workers are jobless, and with no adequate support from any social safety net, inflamed by frequent successive election campaigns, political life becomes radicalized. And in 1933, the Republic finally falls. And finally, from Eric D. Weitz from the Weimar Germany Promise and Tragedy book. And it especially cannot endure when powerful groups in that society seek at every turn to undermine and destroy its very being. The threats to democracy are not always from enemies abroad. They can come from those within who espouse the language of democracy and use the liberties afforded them by democratic institutions to undermine the substance of democracy. Weimar cautions us to be wary of those people as well. What comes next can be very bad, even worse than imaginable. But we're not there yet. It is about 1924, 1925, in Berlin, at night. The city flourishes with academics and artists alike. Movies showcasing progressive themes like homoerotic fantasies and unconventional dress and drug use is being shown on the films, and nobody really seems to bat an eye. People are more concerned with the economy or the treaty or the constant military presence that happened a few years before and what's going to happen next. So with a fresh breath of air and a blank canvas with which to paint, or a new page with which to write, or a new mind with which to think, we have a sort of renaissance in Germany, the hub of which, Berlin, leaves little to be desired. Everything is there within one's fingertips, including a very long, slender set of fingers with pointed nails, finely manicured, I presume. Alexander.
Yeah.
Tell us how, after you make your rouse check, you spend
Oh.
your days or nights in Berlin soaking up the art, the intrigue, the sights, the sounds, the culture.
Yeah, I succeeded.
Beautiful.
So I wake up entangled with my maker, Almondine, and we rise and we dress, and maybe we go to the opera, or one of those new Kurt Weill shows.
Can you
It's so
describe
novel.
Can you describe what Almondine looks like to those who have never heard of him before?
Yeah, Almondine is slightly taller than me, another Nosferatu, and he has deep, warm brown eyes, and the pointed ears, the bald head, incredibly pale skin, and he wears an incredibly well-fitted black suit with a bow tie. Tails.
Of course. I would imagine he looks like somebody from the pictures. Just that very monochromatic, stoic,
Yeah.
handsome
High,
face.
high cheekbones.
Of course, of course. Even
Yeah.
as a Nosferatu, the two of you are a sight in a very good way. And at the mention of an opera, the casual suggestion of the opera, Almondine already has your shawl pulled from the coat rack by the front door. And he very gingerly drapes it over your shoulders, but not before giving each of the points of your shoulders a kiss. And
Thank you.
do we have a particular show you'd like to see tonight, or something new, or would you like me to surprise you?
The Dragon Chopper would be good. We have not yet seen that.
Oh, no, we haven't. Perhaps we can get the box seats.
Yes.
It sounds delightful. And he, kind of taps on your nose and kisses your forehead. He opens the door for you and you live in a very, in modern nights, you live in a very, swanky, glitzy, beautiful, apartment. What does your housing look like in Berlin?
We are living currently in a suite at the Ritz in Berlin. So it is probably very Baroque. Gold-leafed, filigree, and curtains everywhere. A 4-post bed with a canopy.
Mm-hmm.
Our coffins adjacent to each other at the foot of the bed.
It's so lovely. I would say that you have neighbors who come and go, but you also have a couple that are in the same floor as you. So when you open the door, there's this young, sweet, very innocent-looking American couple that is currently honeymooning in Berlin. And they kind of were stumbling up the stairs to go back into their room and caught you two at the other end of the hall. And the girl who you know is Daisy, she kind of drunkenly snickers and hides her face into her new husband, Mark's shoulder. And she said, "Oh, he's so sorry. You guys are always so come out of nowhere."
Yes, we have a talent for it.
Where are you off
Where are
to?
you going this evening?
Oh, we're going. Oh, Mark, you tell. You could say it. I'm still a lady. I'm a married woman now. And Mark kind of chuckles and he's like, "We're turning in for the night."
Bravo.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Where are you off to?
The opera.
Oh, lovely. Is it which show? We need some recommendations, I think.
The Dragon Chopper.
Dragon Chopper. That sounds
No. The Threepenny Opera.
Oh, 3 penny. Yes, of course. What do you say, Daisy? You think we should go? Oh, I'd love to. That sounds great, but we're gonna go in here first.
Yes, enjoy.
Thank you. And she skitters out, and she's really simple and sweet, but it's nice to have neighbors that you can see once in a while, especially since you all kind of wake up when everyone else seems to be turning in.
Almondine, my love.
Yes.
Maybe eat some.
Let's get something from the next hotel. We don't want to eat so close to our door. We'll attract more strays.
Okay.
Are you feeling peckish?
I could eat. For the fun.
Oh, you just want a snack. All right. Well, we'll take the long way. Cut through an alley, perhaps.
Yes.
Maybe we'll meet a nice academic bloke.
Or a drunken heiress
Oh.
from London.
My darling wants the expensive bottle. Okay. And he kind of like adjusts your he does like the nice like the 2-finger roll with the strap, and he kind of fixes it for you as you go down the steps.
It's like a Cracker Jack box. It comes with free pearls.
You know, Alexander, as much as you test me sometimes, and as expensive as you can be, you make me laugh. And I've never had anybody make me laugh as much as you.
You bring me joy.
And he sort of like... He doesn't seem to be one that likes to receive compliments as much as he likes to give you compliments, so he sort of is like... fixes his bow tie and kind of like offers gestures for you to go down the steps.
And like with my gnarled hand with the glassy pointed nail, painted red, I'll just stroke the underside of his jawline and kiss his cheek, and then prance off in my cocoon coat.
He sort of like rolls his eyes as he watches you go down the steps, and
Me giggling.
and we sort of slink down. We go through your heel, your kitten heel, and the camera pulls away from that across a marble floor of the lobby of the hotel, and through a very slim crack underneath the wainscoting and the floor, into the wall, down to a gold ventilation gate, and outside into the night, the Berlin night. The sidewalk seems to be always wet, and not like a New York City wet, but just like a Paris wet. Something that smells like musky, maybe masculine, with some perfume, some maybe wafts of food, optimism, some hope, some emotions, some fear, and petrichor. It smells different. And as we follow each of those strands of smell as they kind of waft up into the air, we follow one of those trails. Looks like somebody is smoking a cigarette, and that camera pans over and chases that little thin line of smoke. And we pass by the gentleman in the bowler's cap who is cupping his cigarette from last leftover rain that's falling from the edge of buildings. And we go to the inside of a very nondescript building. The only indication of what it could be is a very ornate but faded serpent eating its tail on the wall. And through a crack in the door, the city sounds are exchanged for a muffled conversations, clinking of glass, maybe a piano in the corner. And we are at the Cobra. The maitre d' of this establishment is talking to one of the girls and trying to sort out a problem that just started too early in the morning. Essence, can you describe what you look like and what the girl is complaining about? You're muted.
Mute.
I muted the wrong mic. Of course, yes. Essence is standing proudly and tall. She has like frustration on her face talking to the young lady. She is wearing her rose signature dress. She has a rose fascinator on her head. Like she has her makeup on, prepared that she's about to perform here soon. And she is frustrated about like there's some rowdy people going on in her brothel right now. Talking to the lady that just got off stage from performing.
Yeah, and Greta is this beautiful, slim, blonde thing with really, really bright cheeks and like a always flushed face. And I think that's what makes these men so excited to be front and center, as close as they can to the stage when she's dancing. And she's got her silk undergarments on and a little, like a sheer robe on top with the feather boa on the sleeve, on the hem of the sleeve and the hem of the dress. And she's wrapping it around herself and kind of looking nervously at the men who are standing back with like, one has a cigarette, one's got a glass of scotch in his hand, and they're kind of eyeing her up for size. And she looks at you. What do they call you? What do the girls call you?
Miss Cobra.
Miss Cobra. And she says, Miss Cobra, I don't want to go with the one with the cigarette. He's not nice. He's not.
Say no more, darling. You're gonna go step in the back, and I'll take care of him. You don't have to go to anybody that you don't feel comfortable with, okay?
Thank you, Miss Cobra. I thought it would be docked in my pay if I said no, but...
No.
Okay.
I care about my safety and my girls here. But now run along, and I'll go take care of this.
Yes, ma'am. And she kind of like scurries around, and she goes with one of her friends to the back.
I'm like Essence will probably approach the young gentleman here, which I assume that probably is a regular, but she's like doesn't understand his behavior tonight. Like, nah, look here, Johnny. I'll let you come into my establishment every night here, and if I hear you harassing one of my girls again, then it's not gonna be a pretty night.
Oh, Miss Cobra, I wouldn't dream. You know me. I've been here for a few times this past 2 months. I treat your girls with all of the respect they deserve.
Johnny, I had so many complaints about you, and I'm losing my patience real fast. So no back talking here. One more complaint and you're out. We're good.
We are good.
I am glad. Now sit down, finish that wine you got there. I got a performance to do here soon.
He you could see his jaw clench. And had he been talked to that way from anybody else, they would have received the back of his hand across their cheek. But he grips his glass, and you can hear the ice tremble in the drink. And he sits down and clears his throat. He says, "Come on, let's wait for the next one." And they kind of sit in the table and wait. And we turn our attention. Oh, by the way, Essence, if you can make a rouse check.
Yes. Oop. Pass.
Perfect. We turn our attention to the opposite corner of the stage, where there is a little cove underneath the upper level balcony and the side of the stage. It's a little dark, but there are a couple lamps in the corner which give off like a really nice amber glow. There are a couple disheveled people who are scribbling away or flipping through a notebook or running a hand through their hair. This is a quiet place to bring up the stirrings of a muse, potentially. One of these thinkers is Simone. What are you doing in the corner with the rest of the scholars and academics of the city?
Well, right now I'm kind of playing around with some of my papers on my desk, and we're in a little bit of a debate. This idea around gender versus sex is on the tongues of everyone at my table, and I'm just livid that there's only two. Like, two doesn't make sense. There's so much contained within ourselves that it doesn't. I mean, what is even masculine or feminine? And so I'm a little bit angry and hungry, but I should listen sometimes. I think I'm not sure.
No. I like where your head's at, Sai. What if people could have as many identities as they wanted, and that includes genders, at the same time? Like, right now, I only particularly feel, I suppose, like Albert. But sometimes I feel like my father. And sometimes I feel like Hilda, a ballerina dancer, and an aspiring artist. Does that make sense?
I mean, it's not what you're describing isn't even a question. If we are our contexts and our experiences, and by the way, I've met many who've had multiple delightful people inside. But is there a one? Is there a start? Is there a point that grounds us, or that's where I lose. If I'm supposed to be here in the now, or is it my memories that really drive me? I'm not sure.
Well, what are you saying? Are you saying there's a... Do we have maybe we have memories of what if we have memories of others that we recall, and memories of those yet to be?
I mean, that's very Jungian of you to just kind of draw on this idea of like collective memories and symbols, which, I mean, if we draw on that, maybe what I'm thinking right now has already been thought and will be thought again and recycled forever. And what about time? How do we fit time into this mix? That's my biggest question, because let's assume that things can be long-living, or at least, as a joke, immortal. Does being even matter anymore?
Make your rouse check, and while that's happening and the voices are getting more and more impassioned. Essence, you realize that the corner is threatening on their on the 11th hour to get to their usual rowdy selves. Now, they're not rowdy like this gentleman that you just talked down, but they do sometimes throw off the dancers and their counts and their cues.
This doesn't make Essence happy, not at all. So like she had like once you see her performers offbeat and stuff, she is losing money off and they are losing money also. So she would go over there and confront them, be like, "What is going on? What is this rallying that's going on here? You're distracting the dancers."
Okay, I failed that rouse check, by the way.
Okay. I'm just adding. We're gonna add our baby back. So yes. So as you know, Sai, you know of Miss Cobra, and she runs a tight ship, but it is the safest place for the writers and the thinkers to go without being too disturbed by the any sort of extremist in a public setting who believes in not necessarily believes in forward thinking. But at the same time, once you're in these modes, you don't like to be interrupted. No, none of you do. And you are now being told to keep it down. Sai, remind everybody of what your beast looks and or sounds like to you.
My beast starts off very quiet but very persistent. For me, it feels like nails slowly being pushed into my brain. And what comes over to me is just my eyes feel like they blacken completely and just take in every ounce of light. And I feel like I'm going to almost contort as it was. So I just feel pain, constant pain when the beast comes.
And essence, oh my gosh, I could speak. Essence's voice, while it starts out very clear, it sort of morphs into this thick, like molasses feeling in your brain as the brain feels like it's being squeezed by these talons, and the molasses is seeping in and creating this soupy, thick, murky feeling inside of you. And the lamps around on the walls start to extinguish, to you, not to anybody else.
And the darkness is coming. Why is it now? I'm just chatting. Thoughts need to come out. I look up and I see Essence there. Am I doing the thing again? I apologize.
It's all right now. I understand. Do you need anything from me? Do I need to get anything from the bar?
No, just my sincerest apologies to the artists on the stage. I mean, their movement and the song and dances fill my soul, and I know to give artists space, and I apologize. I kind of humble back a little bit and curl up in my shame.
It's gonna be okay. Essence will like reach out her hand to show if given permission to pat on the shoulder. Permission is granted. Yeah, so Essence will like raise her long manicured hands and just gently pat. It's like, it's gonna be just fine. I promise. The artist will understand. We all understand here.
No, thank you. I sometimes lose myself, and I will remember my thoughts can be quiet sometimes.
It's no problem. You hungry? Do you need anything?
Who do you have on tap?
Oh, we have loads of options. Maybe this young fellow over here named Johnny. He's been very much a little rowdy today. I think he needs to be calmed down.
I'll drain him of some of that energy, as it were. Happy to help.
Like, lovely. And like, so as soon as we're trying to call Johnny over.
Yeah, Johnny kind of like does one of these with two hands on the table and then scoots up and saunters over. He has his hands, he's very, Sai, you see he's very striking in like a very Clark Gable kind of tall, dark, and handsome way. He's got his sleeves rolled up and his hands are stuffed in his trousers pockets. And he looks at Miss Cobra and he kind of does one of these hot numbers where he's like this and he says, "What can I do for you?"
Now, Si, I need help lifting up a box in the back. Can you help me? Everyone is busy right now.
Always.
Like, so
Of
like,
course.
and then Johnny, I need you to help too. Both of you guys, we need to come in the back and we need to get this mess cleaned up. So,
I'll take free drinks on that. I don't work for free.
you can give at least 2.
Deal. All right.
Great.
Let's go. What did you say your name was again? Sai?
Yes. Sigh.
All right, well, keep up. And he kind of like haughtily goes towards the back.
And like, Essence will escort both of them to the back, but then like falls back and then like shuts the door as she's on the other side to give them some privacy.
Which box does she need us to lift?
Snap my fingers to draw his attention. And just pull my shades down, look him right in the eyes, and just say, "Be silent." In which case, I then start to lean in and slightly kiss his lovely, gorgeous little neck. And bite.
And his mouth opens, but no sound comes out. But you feel a very long, slow exhale as his shoulders start to sink and sink and sink. And his knees begin to buckle a little.
I let him drop to the ground.
Yeah, fuck that guy. He kind of like clatters to the ground like a discarded dish, and how many did you just like one hunger? I mean, you I guess you had to have because it was only 2. Okay. So
I just let him drop because beauty's like no excuse to be rude. Just so you know.
Yes, that is the quote of the game tonight. And he, for good measure, he looks fucking ugly. Sitting in a puddle on the ground. He looks very small and insignificant. And, you can easily just forget he was ever there.
I'll just walk back out and just leave him there then.
Yeah, he,
Thank you, Essence.
the door closes behind you all.
Of course. I was like, thank you.
We turn our attention back out in these streets where Alexander and Amandine are on their way to the opera. Alexander,
Yeah.
roll a wits plus awareness for me. And if you have any like sneak Nosferatu things, add your dots to that as well.
I actually think Alexander and Almandine are in no way worried. So I would not add those.
Perfect.
So it was what again? What plus what?
Wits and awareness.
Okay. Wits plus awareness. There she is. Haha. Ooh, it is taking a moment to load.
That's all right. We're here
Okay.
for it.
I got 2 successes.
Okay. As you two cross a road and one of those motor cars passes by, and on the other side of the street there are 2 men who kind of are leaning up against a wall near where you two had just crossed. And they were kind of talking very privately to each other. One of them looks over at you two and then like claps the guy on the shoulder and turns into the further into the alley for more privacy.
Darling, maybe we have found dinner.
Oh, I like the way you think, my love.
Let us go.
And I will take his hand and lead the way.
At the entrance, Almondine kind of like tugs you flirtatiously back and he says, "Should we spy first?"
I do like to watch.
I know you do. Let's see what they're saying.
Yes.
And he kind of pulls you into the shadow and like holds you like and covers you with more of a veil. As you listen to the 2 gentlemen speak, their voices echo through the across like the brick of the alleyway. And
Yeah, I think both of us here obfuscate.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get pretty close and very clearly hear their conversation.
Yes.
You hear the flicking of a lighter and somebody light up a cigarette, and you even pick up on the burning of paper and a sigh, an exhale in consideration. And one of the men says, "So the Cobra is the next target?" "Yes." And the other person says, "Yes, that is the first of 3. And that one is prioritized as the most important one to demolish." And the first one says, "I can have some men perhaps tomorrow. We can go as if we were patrons, maybe surround the place, bring in some artillery, so to speak." And the other guy kind of chuckles and says, "We've got the scum of the town just meeting in these cesspools of ugliness and nastiness. We need to get rid of them."
And at that,
yeah.
I'm going to move my hand to indicate to Almondine that I want the one who knows more.
The
And
first one speaking, the one closer to you with his back to you.
yes, the one who seems to know more. I want that one.
Okay. Almondine looks at you, and in this sort of like veil between the two of you in this moment where you're both hidden, and you see a very slow, very pointed smile spread across his lips, and he kisses you on the mouth and then says, "Go get them, kitten."
And I think as Almondine goes to the other one, I rush in with Obfuscate on, and I just simply hold his head so he has to look at the carnage that Almondine is wreaking on the other one. the blood being drained, the flesh being torn, and a head being thrown. And I then move my head and go,
Which clubs?
What? No. Please
Name them.
Fuck the cobra. Please, please don't kill me, please.
I'll make sure his head is looking.
Open your eyes.
And
Which clubs? The others. Name them.
The penthouse and the theater, whatever it's called, the one on 3rd.
And given the address, I think he won't even wait. He will just simply say,
Guten Abend, meine Liebling.
and then he will drag his pinky across the throat, spilling the blood, and lap it up. And then twist the head when he is done, and let the body just fall.
We must, my darling, go to the Cobra and warn them.
And you hear between the two of you this gurgle coming from this man's throat as the blood pools between you two. And Almondine approaches you, his toe stepping in the puddle of blood between you. And he licks his thumb and smears clean the corner of your mouth. And he says, "This reminds me of our first night together."
You missed a spot.
And Alexander will lean in and up and just lick the corner of Almondine's mouth.
But I got it. Let's go. My love.
Lead the way. And the two of you make your way back to the club. I'm going to say probably about a half hour passes. It's a little out of the way, the Cobra, and that is on purpose. It's to allow people to sort of stay out of the line of sight by dangerous men like the ones we had just encountered. And the doorman recognizes you both. There's no need to say a password. There's no need to give identification. He nods, and he even gives a small little smile to you, Alexander, as you pass by.
And yeah, them both walking in, we will look for the manager.
Yeah. Essence, where are you after the dance numbers sort of stopped and now the girls have all sort of like branched out like you're spiders in a web looking for their next meal. And they're sitting in laps, and some of them are being very playful, removing the hats and putting it on their own heads, and removing ties and putting it on their necks. And you've got there's a writer that was in Sai's group that is now, he's got his tie wrapped around his forehead and he's doing his own number on the stage. Where are you?
I believe that Essence will be on stage mid-performing her song. She doesn't have like a siren effect or anything about people, but I feel like her voice is like immaculate that it could put you in a trance, but it will not. While the girls do their thing. Like she's going with the groove, holding on to her mic, ever so stroking it ever so slightly up and down as she like her eyes just scans across as everybody does their thing.
And Alexander, you go through a throng of people as gentlemen sort of like are led by the women away into dark corners or private rooms or further back into the establishment. And the music sort of lingers like heavy smoke over everybody. You've been here a couple times before, and you understand why people keep coming back.
And I think Alexander and Almondine will wait there, standing, watching Essence perform. And then when she is done, we'll watch for Essence to walk off stage to then go find her.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty simple to find Essence as she like goes behind like a little makeshift curtain. Not too much heavy security there. Everybody's kind of distracted right now.
Yeah, and I think coming backstage, probably being recognized, will be accepted backstage, and then we'll find you and just like kiss you on each cheek.
Then to like, kiss back. Now, what do I owe the pleasure?
The brown shirts. They're
Oh.
coming. I hope you're ready for fun.
I'm always ready for fun. But you know why they're trying to come here?
They're getting aggressive. Attacking everything worth living for.
They just don't like fun, do they?
No.
Well, we'll make sure to show them a fabulous time here. Everybody leaves Cobra with a good old smile. Even if I have to put it on them.
I always liked your style. This should be fun.
It would. I should get my friend Sai involved. They have some great strength, I know.
Ja, das Liebling. That is
Yes.
delightful. Young. Weird.
I do love me some weird. Normal is just
Let's go find Sai.
like Essence would take. Take them to go see Sai.
All right, in that case, if I could describe, so I was just sitting cross-legged, like in front of the stage, kind of scribbling, was listening to your performance, but very childlike, just rocking a little bit and really in the moment. So you could easily creep up on me, just FYI.
Essence would try to approach Sai like very gently, just being like hoping like to not interrupt like writing mode and everything, and be like, Sai.
What did I do now?
No, you didn't do anything. Don't you worry.
Okay.
And it looks
Guten
like
Abend, my darling.
Oh my. I'll just jump up with pure excitement. Oh my god. Okay, hi. Oh, hi, Daddy. And I'll wave to you. Yeah, hi, I haven't seen you both in so long. Do you want to see what I've been working on? I mean, maybe later. It looks like you're approaching me with something.
Of course.
Am I in trouble?
No. We wanted to invite you for some fun.
Yes, okay. I whatever it is, I consent. I don't even need to know the details. Who are we
Would you
killing?
like to ruin some brown shirts?
Can we make them red shirts?
Yeah.
most definitely.
All right, tell me what, when, where, why?
We heard a couple of them in an alley. They were talking about attacking a few fun locations. I thought we'd meet them.
How do they look young or like a leader? Because I'm worried. Is there? You said locations. Is there a list?
Yes,
You
I have
said-
it. All three. This one is first.
All right. And do you have time to notify the others?
I can send a couple of my girls out to go warn the others.
And Alexander will give you the information that he and Almondine heard.
She would pass that to at least two of her girls to go run out to warn the others.
I mean, this is going to be fun. It could go wrong. I think it could go very wrong, but I don't mind. Let's protect the space.
And
And then
stroking a nail against your cheek.
Yes. We should have some fun.
All right, what's the plan? No plan? I also good with both.
Almondine, he steps forward. He had been like kind of looking over the vintage selection, and he, at hearing you three start to make plans, he steps forward and he says, "Darling, if you don't mind, perhaps we should call upon the kindred of those establishments to create some kind of fortification of all three of these places. We can't be expected to jump from here to the next in one fell swoop and extinguish all of them."
Thank you, my love.
Of course.
Essence, can you send another?
Yes, I can.
Please. Thank you.
She would definitely send another out.
Yeah, you've got your own. I'm gonna say, even though you don't have necessarily like a herd, unless if you do, where's your sheet? Your sheet's here. Do you have herd? I'm gonna say you've got loyalties anyways. And the clubs that are Kindred owned are the ones who have their own sort of like personal communication system, pre-internet, pre-technology, where you've got a couple who have like celerity and potence who can quickly navigate obfuscate, who can quickly navigate the city and alert others of anything being hunted or any sort of risks or dangers in the city. So you send out, I'm going to say you send out one or two, whichever you'd like, and they will go and kind of create the network system for you, so you could focus on the Cobra.
Ooh, muted, I think.
Thank you. Buddy system, I'll send that to you.
Just so you all know, the person that you send, Sai and Alexander, he is an artist, and he frequents the theater, the third location that's being targeted. He has a couple paintings that are on display in the backstage area and dressing rooms and offices. A feat that you have not yet quite gotten to, Sai, with your food for thought. But he heads off, and you three can continue to plan.
Sense. This is your place. Any requests?
Anything that's broken can be fixed, so I'm not too worried. Everything can be rebuilt. I just rather it not burn down.
A wise.
Okay. There goes my plan. I was actually thinking if we just lured them all in here and just trap them and burn them down, I can see how that might not work. For you, particularly. But it would have been really funny.
Would be a fun time, but I'd rather not.
No, I understand now. How many are there?
Was that said in the conversation between the two?
It was not. It was said that there were men being sent, but you did not get an idea as to how many.
Okay.
I do not know, however, they are mortal.
So, are they going to be okay? And they're all going to be in their hideous uniforms. But what weapons did you see on them?
I presume cudgels and an occasional gun.
Oh,
Nothing meaningful to us.
Yeah. I do have a cellar if we want to trap them there. I have my pretty legendary snakes down there.
Like fish in a barrel.
Mhm.
I like that. You're smart. Yeah.
And I also I need
Okay.
to make sure to not warn, but like I gotta kick out a lot of my patrons here. I'd rather not have them in the crossfire.
Indeed.
no, I
I can
understand
corral
that.
them hidden with my voice. Sigh, what can you do?
I mean, I can recite poetry, but I don't think that's needed right now. I don't know. What do you need me to do? Do you want me to wait outside and just wander around and just take a listen? No one ever pays attention to me.
Can
I
you
just
lure
want to hear
them?
if they're... Lure them? Well, here's my question. Are they coming... Why are they coming to these targets? You mentioned that is it for fun? Do they know about us or do they know about, us?
Us, not us.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right, I need someone to come be gay with me in the streets then. I'll lure them in.
And like looking down with a pause.
Well, I can help.
That's my perfect suggestion, Almondine says.
Thank you, darling.
Like I can definitely if they come inside, I'll definitely give them quite the show and distract them all as we slowly try to lure them down to the cellar.
You always do.
And Miss Cobra, feel free to use me at your service.
Of course.
Ooh, I have an idea. What if we told them that the actual true speakeasy is through the cellar door, where all the debauchery is? Alexander could just be really loud about the orgy in the cellar.
We can
Yeah.
tell them that's where the good girls are.
Yeah. I agree. I like that plan a lot. I'll make sure to tell my snakes that anything goes.
All right, so the safe word is close the door. Got it.
I almost made a joke about anything goes, but then I realized that was the 30s, not the 20s, and I couldn't make the joke, and I'm very sad about that. I just wanted to share my feelings.
You could have shared it and it would have been canon. Like, anything goes would have been like this one-off conversation that somebody heard, some playwright heard. Sai, as you are kind of like eyeing the door that you were going to go out with Alexander into the street, you notice that a couple men that were patrons, kind of quiet, had slipped out. They were kind of near the bar, a little bit near where you all are, and they slipped out after hearing well, it looked like they had heard something that interested them.
I think we should have had this conversation out of earshot of the patrons. Alexander, maybe we should just follow the two who just suddenly and abruptly left.
Yes, Essence. Are you up for a hunt, darling?
I'm always up for a hunt. I think like her eyes were always like was normal, and then now they're like flashing the green, her signature green.
Perfect.
Let's go.
Like as soon as I hike up her dress, ready to go, already like speeding out.
Okay. So we're gonna say that the way that the front of the club is set up is the front door is in an alley. So it's like a T. And you can go deeper into the alley left, or you can go out into the street right. And you are about 4 blocks away from the second club, and you are about 8 blocks away from the theater. The men are men, so they aren't particularly fast, but they had started to quicken their pace as you walked out into the street, or walk out the door. You can look and see that they're walking towards the street.
I just want to say that in my experience, most men are pretty quick, but I get it.
We're kindred. The boomerang came back.
Cheers.
Oh God. I need alcohol. Excellent. Great. Now I can't look you in the eye. I'm nervous. So these very human men are walking with a purpose.
I will use Cloak of Shadows at this point and just disappear.
Okay, the two of you, what was once Alexander is now just the air of the city beside you. I'm gonna say though, however, that you all have seen this trick. You know it. You know what Alexander's presence feels like, so you can kind of tell he's sort of making his way down, but still very nearby.
I'm just looking at my list of abilities. It's been a while since I looked over.
That's okay. And this isn't like an initiative order or anything either, so y'all can just do what you'd like.
A free side if you have anything.
Okay, I'm just gonna whisper over to you, Essence. I'm like, okay, do we stab and ask questions after, or should we try and just detain them? These are your patrons. It's up to you.
That's what I was trying to figure out. I didn't know if we were trying to do sneaky or I could make quite a show right now.
I mean, even if we messed up, I mean, we can all kind of blame it on the shit shirts that are coming our way.
That is correct.
I mean, brown shirts. Sorry, same.
Ooh. Okay. This might be a little crazy, but can I borrow your beast? Because I would like to use my ability drawing out the beast, which I can throw the beast into a mortal being and they would go into a frenzy. And I want them to attack their friend, or at least detain their friend.
You can borrow anything. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Like I will.
Is that a free? Do you have to rouse the blood for that?
I think I have to.
Okay.
That makes sense. I have success. I have to roll like a success roll.
Yeah.
Like I use manipulation plus self-control, difficulty 8 for this level.
Okay.
Now I gotta find all my stats.
I really want this to work because I'm like, this sounds like a nightmare. Love it.
Nightmare.
Love it.
I'm figuring out how I could yes and it, or like no but it.
Oop, no, one more. It does not pass. I only got 4 successes right now.
Do you want to burn some? What is it? Burn some willpower for it.
Willpower? I can do willpower.
Yeah, try again.
That's why I could I re-roll 3 dice, or do I roll? Yeah.
3.
Okay. So close. It was 7.
Okay, hold on. It was really close. Sai, you consented. Roll a d10.
Yeah. Okay. Succeeds. Or 10.
With a 10. Okay. So.
Yay!
So. This is what it's the setup is, and then you all decide what it looks like. You're in this alley. Alexander is just vanished. The "Can I borrow the beast?" sparks something. It stirs something within you, Sai, and you can feel a vibration, like a growl, deep in your core. And it wants to play. And at the "yes, I consent," there is a letting go of the leash, so to speak. And Essence, you weren't prepared for somebody to so willingly allow you to draw out their beast. So the lunge forward, you can feel it. And although it surprises you, you two take it from there.
Would you like to go side with like me to?
As soon as I feel it's just the claws detach and like move through my entire body, I'm gonna have to describe it as a weird vampiric orgasm, but I'm gonna hit the floor real hard. But feel like a little bit like, there's a lot of pain with it, but a little bit of a release. Not fully sexual, but it's kind of going into the gray zone there.
Yeah, like Essence, I picture it as like an aura type of move where she was just like, her hands was just like swirl and move, and then tries to aim her hands. Like the beast will course through her, so she will feel the sensation for a moment before she will shoot it out to one of the patrons to send them into a frenzy that will be controlled to like attack their friend or at least detain them.
You all, just like the Cloak of Shadows where you could feel Alexander's presence, just knowing him, you all have had experience with Sai's inner workings in some way, whether it was their lack of confidence or their anxiety or their avoidant part of them come out, or even their unbridled joy. And this sort of feels like an amalgamation of all of those things at its most primal level. It's not so much identifiable feelings that you can put labels on. It is just a cloud, a shape, an animalistic shape of something external that should be kept inside. And as Essence summons it forward, it seems to leap and bound like a rabid dog. And it looks like it's just going to go for the first thing it sees, but then it pivots and it goes in the direction that Essence has manipulated. And you see the man stop short and his whole body kind of shake and twist and contort and then snap. And what did you want this beast to do?
It is your beast. If you want to do the commanding, Essence will pass it over. The beast will listen to you more than me.
All right. Do I whistle at it? It's been a while since we've been separated. Okay. A good boy. Okay, just hold. I want you to break a couple wrists and the ankle so the other one doesn't move. Can you do that for me, boy? Okay, you got this.
And like
I feel really awkward right now.
like a flash, he turns on his friend. And Alexander, while this is happening, you have this sense that things that are unseen it's like a birds of a feather kind of situation, and you are able to get as close as you'd like to this situation. The beast has no interest in turning onto you, and it is focused now on gnawing as this man rips his teeth into the flesh, the wrists of his friend, and drags him down.
Good.
You hear the scream of the other one, and he says, "Scheiße, what are you doing?" And he's holding onto his one wrist and trying to pry the guy's jaws off of him. And he's struggling to get himself up as the two are grappling on the ground.
Can I bring my hand around the third and just sort of open the neck of the third and begin to lap up the blood?
There's only two. There's the man.
Oh, sorry. I thought there were three.
No, you're good. Do you want to do it to the second one? The guy that's being chewed on already?
Yes.
Okay. I want you to roll a d10.
I
Please.
would love to roll a d10. That sounds so fun. I rolled a 2.
Okay. What is your what are your flaws and what is your clan bane?
Oh, shoot. My flaws are I am repulsive, I have the prey exclusion of wealthy, and a folkloric bane. I take aggravated damage from a folkloric bane. And then the banes include... Oh god, this is hard to read the way it's formatted, but... Holy water is the one I have.
Okay. I'm gonna say I want you inside to roleplay this out as if you're playing the parts of your beasts. Because, Alexander, as you hold up the head of the second one, and you look down from behind him to his wrist, you see his artery had been burst open in between the teeth of the other. And that bubbling of blood is stirring something jealous within your beast.
Then I move my face into the same space and just gnaw down on the flesh of... In my mind, it's the wrist. And I just begin to like gnaw the flesh and lap the blood. But I am turning it into hamburger. It is not pretty.
Essence, you know that one half of the people that you need information from will die if these beasts can't play nicely.
I would like to walk up and activate Song of Serenity, which can pull a mortal or a vampire out of a frenzy with a docile song.
Okay.
Which is I have to roll manipulation and empathy.
I'm gonna say if you succeed, you're gonna pull a size beast out of the other person as well.
Okay. I don't see empathy on my list unless I cannot see. But that's what it says on Hero.
Empathy. Oh, weird. I thought empathy was on this. Do etiquette or persuasion.
Can do. That is 4 successes and a beast.
Shit. Okay. Is the beast on the hunger die?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Okay.
It's gonna be messy. I'm sorry, everyone.
Don't
So-
apologize for fun.
You all can explain how this happens, but the end result is the hamburger wrist is going to die. But the other end result is, Alexander, you will be able to get a control of yourself, and Sai, your beast will return back to your body.
I think that hamburger wrist turns into hamburger man.
I mean, we can keep biting for sure.
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a pincushion. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say this is happening right at the entrance of the alley, just because I don't think all three of you mincing a man in the street is gonna end well. But so you just, the three of you sort of keep, shut up, Juicy, keep pounding into him and turning this man into meat pie on the ground.
I love that you preemptively chastised me for a dick joke.
Like, we're just pounding meat here. It's normal, man.
And the thuds against the cracking of bone, the thuds against what was once, like, firm muscle has now turned into these soft thuds against tissue and cracked bone and skin, basically just a skin sack. He looks like a waterbed on the ground.
But like a sad waterbed.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. And the other guy, the beast comes out of him, and he slumps forward and starts to vomit on the ground from tasting the blood in his mouth and feeling the chunks of skin and muscle that he had gotten from this guy's wrist.
Wait, the other guy's into it?
If you... I mean, he's vomiting. So...
Oh, okay.
No!
Never mind. Okay, I misunderstood.
No, he is like compulsing, like he is hyperventilating and throwing up in front of you all as he's gathering his bearings. He is not into it. We are all into it, but he is not.
Oh, very.
Morale.
Yeah.
I think Essence would be like caressing the man that's like vomiting and freaking out since she's doing the Song of Serenity, but Crescent's face like, shh, like trying to docile him.
Yeah.
I think Sai might step in and mess with that little serenity moment by just like grabbing by the back of the head and just shutting the mouth and be like, okay, I'll make sure he stops throwing up here. Be like, you see what's happening to your friend? You taste your friend right now. So we can have some questions here. I'll let you finish throwing up, but unless you want this to happen to you, you might want to chat with us.
What do you want from me? What are you?
No, that's the wrong question. Wrong
Salvation.
question. Where are you going?
No, nowhere.
I feel like that's wrong. And then like Essence has like her hand around his throat. Her nail is like right here, and just dig it in a little bit. And every time he lies,
No.
just, to answer the question.
Okay, we're going to the house, the meeting house.
So what's the meeting about?
It's to take down some of the blasphemous buildings and debauchery happening here.
What is this? Meine Liebling, where is it?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you.
And I think Alexander will throw a hand to the throat and squeeze just a little.
Wo ist es?
And he's like losing his oxygen supply.
Yep, and loosening a little bit to demonstrate control and allow him to speak.
Wo ist es?
It's down off the main strip, past the train station. Number 37, green shutters.
Which room?
Squeezing a little bit more, then releasing.
Oh, the front room.
Ja. Danke.
And then squeezing the thumb and the pointer finger all the way.
It looks like we have to go to the front room. Are you ready, darlings?
So ready.
You two.
I mean, I would have preferred to go through the back door, but whatever.
Who doesn't? Jokes about anal sex, we love them.
I was gonna describe how the finger and the thumb pinching the throat. The other two heard like a pop and like a blister, like just as the throat just popped in between his finger and thumb.
That's how the prostate works, just so you know.
This is great. Tied it all together. Welcome everybody. We're killing Nazis and making dick jokes, and it's a great time.
It was a great time. What more do you want?
On that note, though, we're gonna take a quick 5 to 10 minute break. So, everybody, if you were here and you would like to, you do not have to. We understand not everybody has the means. This is a charity stream going to Galay, a QT BIPOC-led and minded organization providing services and resources for the Philly community. Philly by Night is hugely devoted to telling very Philadelphia-centered stories, and we wanted to give back, and this is one of those companies or organizations, and a random winner and the top donor will receive a piece of merch from the Philadelphia Printworks below, which is also a Black-owned and Philadelphia company, providing a lot of really great profits to charity and to the BIPOC artists that create the apparel. And they are also giving us a 15% percent off discount on all their merch if you use the code PhillyByNight15 until the end of June. So, if you decide to donate, let Steve behind the scenes know. You can just post a message in chat and be put on the list, and we will be right back in about 5 to 10 minutes. So, everybody have fun. We'll be right back. everybody, welcome back. We hope you partook in hydration and recreational drugs and food, and now we're back. Again, thank you all so much for coming to our charity stream for Galay, again, one more time before the end of the stream, a QT BIPOC led and minded organization providing services or resources for the QT BIPOC Philly community. And with us today, we've got Juicy Garland, Spunky Taylor, and Themme Faetale telling the story of a bunch of Kindred just fucking up the world of these Nazis. And happy Pride. So with that being said, we just got done witnessing Alexander's sharp fingernails penetrate the throat of or pinch the throat of a Nazi that was cowering on the ground. And now that his throat is burst, and he's laying in his own bile and blood and probably excrement, we now have an address with which the meeting house of said Nazi group is planning an attack on 3 art and progressive locations in Berlin.
My darlings, let's go.
Ooh, can we wait? It feels like an artistic moment, and I'll just move the corpses in such a way that it looks like they're doing gay stuff, and like we can go now.
It's beautiful.
You're so wonderful.
Beautiful.
Art is everywhere.
Art is everywhere.
Nobody has seen you because you are in the mouth of the alleyway. But if you stay too long, somebody will find this place, find these bodies.
So a question, I think we should head to this house, but are we shifting our plans to just take them all out here, or luring them? What do you want to do? As long as I have blood on my hands by the end of the night, I'm good.
I have no objections.
Yeah,
That's fun. Essence?
I have no objections. Everything goes.
Ooh, can we finally burn down a house?
We can burn down that place. I have no connection to that.
I have no objections.
I feel like if only we had explosives, but I feel like that's not the right time for us yet. Maybe in the future.
Let us revel in drinking their blood first.
Oh, you know what? I need... What the fuck is the premonition roll? It's,
I believe...
It's
If only I knew.
premonition... VtM when it's a storyteller calls for it. It's Auspex.
Okay.
Where is this? I need the 2 dots. Where the fuck?
Auspex and Resolve, so...
Right, and it's just Resolve without Auspex if you don't have it. What did you get, Sai?
2 successes.
Okay. So, as you say, you don't think now's the time, you feel a warmth of fire. And it's not sending you into a frenzy, because you don't see fire, but you feel it. You also feel the presence of Alexander, but not as if he's standing right next to you, just within. And you feel the emotions or the sensations of vindication and loyalty and a little bit of chaos. You also feel a bit confused, like your mind is clouded a little because this doesn't seem to feel like something set in stone. It's just a taste of what may be.
As I feel the whoosh of all this, the sensories that come with this, a memory that has yet to pass for me. I can smell like the burning grass almost, and I feel a little bit nauseous for a second, and just wildly look over to both Essence and Alexander. Okay, so we will, if not now, in another now, we're going to see the flames rise up in the house of a game that yet it doesn't exist yet, but we'll be there for that reckoning, I think. Sorry, what were we doing? I'm in full panic confusion in this moment.
We were hunting, huh?
Yeah, okay, yes. Oh yes, Nazis. Let's yes, I'll take your lead. I just need a moment to breathe. Metaphorically, of course.
Yes, I understand.
The time is about midnight now, and there were 3 different places that were going to be simultaneously hit. So if you miss them at the house, you know that you will have 3 locations to go to simultaneously.
We can protect
Alright.
the Cobra first.
Now, I don't want to be too selfish. Like, I'd have sent everyone away, so my business is kind of empty, but I am worried about the other businesses to know that they got their people out.
Did we know if the leader would be at one particular location?
You know that you heard the 2 before, the one that you and Almondine killed. They said that there were going to be 3 locations hit, and then the 2 that you all killed had alluded to there being a house where they're all there. Everyone's meeting there.
Perhaps we cut them off at the pass, at the central location.
Yes, that sounds good. Yeah.
Go knock on some doors.
So this particular street is very quiet. It's almost like a sweet little suburban place right off the train line. The kind of the shuffling of people in the city seems to be exchanged for more isolated clicking of heels and a couple hushed conversations as men and women link arms and stroll down the street. There's some gas lamps on every block. There's a line of trees that kind of separate the houses from the train line. And a few cars now and then driving up and down the road. Or a few automobiles. And the trolley kind of like passes, turns by you, and you 3 are at the end of the street. There are automobiles lined up against the curb of the street where the houses are, more congested towards the middle.
Where do
All
we
right.
go?
Or what do we use? I mean, these cars are here. I mean, we could borrow some flammable items from here.
Yes.
I sense. Do you have a supplier? Huh?
I have so many suppliers. What do you need?
Vodka. Petrol. Huh.
Like, Essence will try to. I guess you gotta head back to like in her building and stuff, trying to grab some supplies of like different forms of alcohol.
You actually don't need to go all the way back. I'm gonna say that you turn like as if that's where you have to go. But your the person you had sent out to warn the others comes back, that Kindred, with a couple more from each establishment. There is a you recognize the person you sent out is Sven. He's the gentleman that was able to soaring leap and just rush to the other place. The artist. You recognize Sybil, who is a ballet dancer at the theater. And her partner, Elsa, is also a dancer at that theater, who was there as well. And they all are of like ilk, so everybody here is a kindred. And you also have somebody from the second location comes up. They are a guru, and this kind of scene, while there are there's political strife between, or socio-political strife between Guru and Kindred everywhere in the world. In Berlin during this time period, there's a sort of community of outcasts and people who would otherwise be othered. And in this sort of artistic hub, people hang on to those that fall into the same sort of community. This guru is known as Loki, and he comes up and joins the others. Sven has a sack with him, and it's got a couple firearms in a couple like containers, like cases, and it also has a couple like light artillery and explosives and he kind of like shrugs, and you could tell he's one of the ones that was very affected from the First World War.
Excellent. Is this enough supplies for everyone?
I mean, I have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's make history repeat itself here. I know it'll happen again and again, but let's start here. What if we broke up this group a little bit? Maybe you all could decide to have your own a gathering, maybe a little parade on their front yard, as it were, to draw their attention. And a few of us go through the back. Let's just do a little two-front, as it were.
I like the way you think.
Yes. Huh?
All right. Should the three of us go through the back while we get our friends here, just to draw them out with their gayful little cheers out front?
I seem that a wonderful idea. A wonderful distraction, too.
All right, let's take them from behind. Phrasing. I heard myself there.
Mm-hmm.
At least it was funny.
It was very funny.
The group that had joined you, they sort of, everybody congregates and comes up with this plan. They go out front. A couple had splintered off and grabbed some a empty bottle that somebody had been carrying around after they've been drinking, and another one takes somebody's hat, and it's like a big feathered hat, and is also like goes up to this to the person and to this like one person coming or walking by, and waves their hand, and you see as you're making your way down the street, you catch them mouthing something to this person, and that person sort of dutifully following behind, and they start to all wander lazily and winding up and down the street as they very drunkenly start to like peacock in front of the house, in the way only bohemians know how to do, as the three of you are able to sneak around back.
All right, I was gonna say ladies first.
Then by all means. Huh?
Essence after you.
Who do we attack first?
That's a really good question. I would say we just go big, go home, and attack the leader first.
I agree.
Once the leader's
Aye.
down, they start scrambling.
What were you
Listen.
thinking?
Oh, I'm just saying, let's just start punching. It doesn't matter. Leader, I mean, even if there's no such thing as a leader, they're all a bunch of followers anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Just destroy them all.
Like follow, like let the leader fall, and they just fall one by one behind.
Their panic will be delicious.
Now just bear in mind that the brown shirts are notorious cowards. So either we split them off, or we herd them together and watch the fear, and we could smell that fear too, just come up. It's going to be such a fragrant frenzy for us.
Oh yes,
Yes.
such a delight.
As you get closer to the back, there is a garden. All these houses have little garden areas, and you see the glow over the fence, like the very stark contrast of an orange glow from inside the house against the sort of navy blue filter that the night kind of blankets over Berlin. And you see shadows as if people are wandering kind of within the threshold of the door. And you hear voices, and they're not really, no one's speaking too loud. It just seems like they're all kind of having a waiting game conversation. But nobody seems to pay any mind to things going on outside, at least not yet. But in a few moments, you do start to hear the gradual increase of volume of your friends that are making their way up the street.
Now, Alexander, I know you love to hug the shadows real close. Would you mind sneaking in and doing a little count for us? And letting us know where they are?
Yes.
And I will use Cloak of Shadows and go in.
Beautiful. Since you're going in the house, I am going to have you do a little roll for that too. Can you roll dexterity plus stealth?
Plus stealth. Yeah, I could do that. Where is my stealth?
Just want to see if you're
find
noticed
it on
at
the
all.
character sheet. Yeah.
1 success for me.
Sorry, I couldn't hear. Was I supposed to roll something? I'm so sorry.
No, actually, Sai, you didn't have to roll either. It's just Alexander.
Okay.
Yep. I had gotten 1 success.
Okay. You go in, and you're able to kind of slip through and go follow the corner, like hug the corner of the house. And it's like a kitchen area. There's like a dining space. It's a combined little like place for food and congregation. And you see that people are walking around as if like the meetings are over, the plans are over. There seem to be maybe about 8 to 10 in this area. But it's so, the hallway is congested with a couple standing in the middle that you can't see who else is on the other side unless you want to try to like squeeze through. But with that one success, you are very aware that if any of them touch you, they will know that you're there.
Can I try to get through?
Yeah, you could try to get through. That'll be another Dex plus Stealth. And this time it'll be 3. You need 3 successes.
Oh, gee whiz. Okay, we will try. And let's see how it goes. I got 4 successes.
Holy shit! Okay. Yay. So, yeah, so as you sneak through this very narrow hallway, there's almost like a slow motion where the dust on the old wallpaper and like the air on the man closest to you's shoulder is disturbed just enough to cause the man to kind of pause his conversation and look at his shoulder as if there was like a bug or a finger on it. And you, as you're slipping past, kind of hold your, well, you hold your breath anyways because you don't breathe, but it would be a tense moment to hold your breath. And his friend kind of snaps in front of his fingers and he directs his attention back to the guy.
I imagine that he like moves backwards towards the wall of this hallway, and I am like scrunching into the back wall behind me, and everything goes silent.
Mm-hmm.
And then the sound slowly comes in as I begin to move in slow motion away, and he turns away.
Yeah. Everything is like close, like angles and things like that. And you are able to get a peek in that front room where the meeting was, and there are 4 more men. One that looks like the rest of them in terms of just like a simple like brown shirt uniform, but a couple that have some sort of like crests or insignia that are telling of higher statuses, including a couple officers. One of them is holding a hat underneath his arm, in the crook of his arm.
Are they saying anything of interest?
Not right now. They seem to be just talking about like constant goings on, like general comparing what this sort of increased aggravated action is to like the war and how it's good to be back, kind of that sort of fear-mongering shit. And then as you sort of like decide that maybe they're not going to say anything of super importance, you start to hear your friends out front, and they get louder and louder, and you hear the smashing of a glass on the ground outside, and the one gentleman opens, well, gentleman's actually being too kind, one of the rats on legs opens the blinds and kind of peeks out, and he looks very confused, and he says, send 2 out front to deal with this.
Am I able to start the carnage?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
I mean, follow your heart. Follow your
Yeah,
heart.
I would love to rush in and tear at the throat and start lapping up the blood as it flies.
Fucking beautiful. Okay. This is what we're gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
I want... not knowing what's about to happen in the house, I want Essence and Sai to describe the first sounds they hear that indicate that it's time to move in.
So I think for me, I won't even hear anything. I'll just be like looking at us. Is it time to go? I'm bored at this point. I know we're trying to be stealthy. I want blood.
Yeah, I think Essence will like hear like the glass breaking over his hip front, but I think hearing a small bone crack or something ripping, Essence be like, I think it's time. I would like to activate shape change into a tiger woman.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely may. Yeah, go ahead. That's a free roll, right?
It's free.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's free?
Wait, let me double check.
I feel like it's free for a gangrel.
I was like, I feel like it's free, but I also feel like it should. I think it's probably a rouse check. I feel like
that actually makes sense.
I mean, it makes
your
sense
form.
if it would be free for you, but like, it's still shocking.
It's animalism, right? Or protean?
And it's protean.
Okay.
One rouse check.
It's free in June, Rara says. Yeah, you know what? It is free in June. You know what? It's free, but see if you roll a 10.
For a cause.
What did you roll? What did you roll?
I rolled a rouse check. I do get hungrier.
Okay. So it wasn't a 10. Okay. So you're gonna get hungrier, but I'm gonna say you still succeed. Like, that's still like. So this is what I want you to describe how you are going to indulge your beast as you turn into this tiger woman.
Like, I think, like, this whole night, she hasn't really eaten at all. Watching everybody having fun, spilling the blood and that, I think her, like, beast would come out more to be like, it is done being dormanted right now. It wants to help merge their energies together to become the tiger woman, to both have fun for the evening.
Hell fucking yes. I'm gonna say for you, any physical based rolls that you do for the rest of this evening, you can add an extra die for it.
Woo!
And yeah, Sai, you are looking at the most terrifyingly beautiful humanoid, like majestic woman you've ever seen in your life, as this like tiger woman sort of just manifests outside of this house and is begging to let loose.
First, I think it's not even. It's maybe a mixture of queer panic, but just probably a lot of panic. So I'm gonna go ahead and open the door and be like, "Have at her,"
But as a lunge so fast, growling hard.
Amazing. So we're gonna do like a little cinematic split screen situation. Alexander, you rush into that room as this tiger leaps into the back, and you are both hungry for blood and death and revenge.
Yes.
Alexander, I want you to go first and describe. You get a free one. You get a free Nazi. You both do. So describe.
I love. You know what? One free Nazi with every purchase.
Yeah. So yeah, you get to describe which Nazi and how it happens.
Whatever one is on the left.
It's one of the officers.
I'm assuming one of the So I'm assuming one of the officers was SS. So it's these sharp Hugo Boss, legitimately black uniforms with the SS signal right on their collar, and I think that Alexander rushes in and then with an embrace of two arms pulls this one in, snaps the neck, and begins to drink from his neck, lapping up messily.
And you start to hear through this like kind of tinnitus feeling, you kind of hear the muffled screams, like it's coming from underwater, of the others catching on that something is happening. As since that sound comes from the living room, the front room, and down the hallway, and we focus back on this tiger. Who is your Nazi victim, and how do you dispose of them?
I feel like as someone would go for a Nazi that would try to fight back to attack Alex, and would like leap on them and just start tearing while animal instincts kicks in.
Yeah, and the claws sort of like dig into this person and rip flesh away from bone, and the part of you that is not in this animal mindset, that is the businesswoman that you are, recognizes this face. This is a patron that you have had to turn away several times for knocking around a couple of your girls. He even went so far as to drug one of them once. And you thought that you had seen the last of him. And you realize that this isn't just for, the Cobra and the theater and all of the other queer spaces, or any space of free mind, free thought, free creativity, free anything. This is for the people that seek solace and refuge, the ones who try to make a living for themselves, the sex workers, the drug dealers, the hustlers that try to make a living when currency means nothing, when rules are rewritten at the drop of a hat because somebody in power is bored. And this, as you are tearing into flesh and removing strips of meat from this body, each strip removed is like the dismantling of another piece of Nazism from your city.
Yeah. She wants to make sure this person it'd be unrecognizable at the end of here.
Yeah. Sai, when you walk in, you do not recognize the body as human. And it is just, it looks like the paper confetti in Easter baskets at that point.
So pretty.
Or like, yeah, it looks like ground meat at that point. And you also get a free Nazi.
Cool. Well, as I think you mentioned that we'd pass through the kitchen before getting to like the room that they're all in. I'm just gonna grab a kitchen knife if that's possible.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna drop my shades down and kind of look over and be like, "Hey, B. Gates, Mind Beach, would you mind just looking here?" And I'll just snap over and say, "I want you to cut yourself, stab yourself, the same number of times like as the people you've harmed. So don't stop."
Yeah.
He hands the knife.
Period.
He hands...
Because they're mortal, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So I thought I had a knife here. So he takes the knife and does not break eye contact with you. And his friends look at him in horror and try to shake him off, but he kind of loosens and at one point takes the butt of the knife, of the handle, and busts the guy right in the eye. with it next to him, and that guy staggers back and starts screaming as blood pours out of his face. And he, on the ricochet from that, directly into his chest, cuts right through the bone and starts to wiggle up and down as he starts to tear at the insides and just decimate himself from the inside out. And he falls to his knees while he's still looking up at you. And you could see tears running down his eyes, and he starts to quietly sob, but he continues to release and then plunge the knife into his stomach and do the same thing, twist it left and right and north and south, and turn it 90 degrees, and like he's locking something away. And as he sits back on his feet and the blood starts to come up and pool in his mouth, and he starts to choke on all of the sudden regrets, but regrets for getting caught, not for regrets for what he did. You are able to, with a very gentle hand, push him over until he is dead on the floor.
Yeah, I'm not going to touch this blood to drink. I kind of look to the other ones, and I just want to say, like, this is your doing. This was your choice. Who's next, really?
So there are 3 more in this front room. One of them is about to follow the 2 others that they had sent to go outside to deal with the people in the front, but also just to run away from the house. So those 4 will take care of those. So Alexander, you have 2 more to dispose of, and there are about 6 more, so 3 more between the 2 of you. At this point, the house has descended into complete panic. It's almost as tangible as the blood that you are licking off of your fangs and the corner of your lips, and you can smell the fear. It's quite frankly disgusting. It doesn't do anything for you, because this kind of fear honestly just comes with the action of being natural cowards. They're not fighting for anything but their own, like, self-serving agendas, and it almost poisons the smell for you.
Well, then they may not be worth drinking, but they're certainly worth murdering. Can I rush up to one and maybe snap a neck or rip out a throat?
Yeah, you can literally do whatever you want to these Nazis. Let's just make it a good
I
story.
love that sentence so much.
I would like to help by doing Eyes of Serpent to make them freeze, which is free of cost, to make sure easy access.
Oh yeah, which ones are you gonna freeze, or can you freeze all of them?
It just says 1, but I can try to do a homebrew roll to freeze a lot.
Roll a d10, and I'm probably gonna like fraction that.
I don't have a D10. I have the VtM dice. So what would you like me to land on?
Okay, if it's a fail, like a regular fail, you get 1. If it's a crit success, you get 2. And if it's a regular success, you get 3. And if it's a regular success, you get 2.
Okay, just 1 dice?
Yep.
Cool. I got a regular success.
Cool, so you get to pick 2.
Which 2 do you want, Alex, to freeze for you?
Whichever 2 are closest, I think, is what Alexander really cares about. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be the 2 that were in that room that are now in the hallway. So you've got this long hallway, and Alexander's in that front room, and he had just dispatched the 1. So the 2 backed out and are now within line of sight of Essence.
Yeah, and the Essence will quickly turn her head. The cat eyes narrow into serpent eyes, bright green to freeze.
Yeah, Alexander, you see the two of them. You don't see Essence yet, but you turn around and you see the two of them as their eyes were as wide as dinner plates, stepping back from you, turn their heads, like snap to attention to the whatever was on their left, and then their body just look as if it just fell into complete rigor mortis.
Good.
And yeah, I think at least I will reach to whatever ones were closest, and then one throat is torn, one like side is torn, and a hand reaching inside to squeeze the heart.
Yeah, so the door had opened, the front door had opened where three of them went out, and cinematically we're looking through the eyes of Essence, and these like almost like hyper saturated sort of colors as we see what the serpent sees, and this red pulp that isn't just like this dark, like warm bloody red, but like a fire hydrant or a cherry red suddenly bursts like a busted water pipe from one of their neck, and then explodes out their back as Alexander punches a hole directly through, clutching the heart on the other side.
It's thick.
That looks like so much fun.
Yeah. Ezra will finally blink since there's nothing to look at right now.
Yeah. And I think, where is the next Nazi?
So the front is clear. The three are now outside, and you can start to hear their screams as they realize that they had been lured into their own trap. Now you have 6 more total, and they are all in the back rooms with Essence and Sai. It's like an open space area before you go out into the garden.
All right, what do we want to do now? So we have 6 more.
You did leave
Let's
the
find
back
the
door
right-
open too, so they will escape if you give them enough time.
Can I guard that door while the other two go hunting?
Yeah. You make your way from the front of the hallway to the back of the house. And this sort of like veil of shadows kind of follows you, like this beautiful, gorgeous train of a dress. And kind of like as you turn, it majestically sweeps behind and surrounds you, as if you had like these beautiful peacock feathers behind you, sort of like waving, and like absolute, just stunning Queen of Darkness. And he blocks the entire back wall.
All right, in that case, if I have eye contact with any of them in range, okay. Give me your gun. That's what I'll just request.
Yeah, the first one will hand you without, like, literally takes it out and just gives it to you, like, presents it to you like a submissive, like, hands it to you with all of his what authority he had is now on a plate for you.
Usually I would say like good boy, but there's no way that's happening in this moment. So I'm just gonna go ahead and like shoot a couple, like 3 of them in the kneecaps, just so they can't run off too quickly. I look to Essence and just say, I got them all lined up. You can have fun with this one.
You've got 3 lined up, and they sort of toppled over like chess pieces, like pawns just knocked over, and their kneecaps spray with blood. And get on your trousers a little bit, Sai, as they kneel down to the ground.
That's okay. I think like lemon juice would help, like, and some baking soda. I don't know. I just need new trousers at some point, but you know, it happens.
With the storyteller permission, I would like to do the drawing out the beast again with Essence's own beast. But I found a chart here with different types of success rolls. And so, like, one success means I can transfer the beast, but it could go to one of the random Nazis, or it can go to and then there's one where the character will be stunned and I won't be able to move while the beast is going around. And then 3 successes, I can transfer the beast slowly.
You can do whatever you want out of that list with no roll if you can tell it as well as you can. Like, you tell this story, cool. You tell it, you pick the one you want and you make it work. That's your stage.
Perfect. So with Essence's beast, like, very feral, animalistic, going on, the anger to like protect everyone she loves, to be an ally to the whole community, that she wanted to make sure that they feel harassed hardcore. She feels a little disgusted because she doesn't want to share her beast with freaking Nazis right now, but she'll do what she have to do for the community. So her beast, if anyone wanted to see what her aura look like, will be a range of the greens and orange together, forming of a tiger, as she shoots it out to one of the Nazis in the middle, for it to also go into a tiger-like feral state to attack his fellow brothers.
Perfect. The one in the middle, he had been, like, his kneecap had been splintered and like disjointed from the bullet that hit it, so he was kind of on the side of his leg, and as the beast enters him, his hands shoot down and try to find purchase into the wooden floor beneath his nails, and as he scrapes his fingers along the floor, you see his fingernails one by one splinter up and off of his nail beds, and he turns with this completely feral, almost foaming at the mouth snarl, and the men on either side stop screaming and slowly turn to their attention to their comrade, and he jumps, like, leaps forward, tackles the one on the right to the ground, and rips out his throat with his teeth, and starts to chew and chew and chew deeper and deeper into his neck until his entire face is buried in the cavity that was once his esophagus. And as he pulls up, it's complete, like, Carrie, blood completely covering his entire face, and he sneers and he turns and his jaw kind of cracks back into place, and it's almost like he's growing animal features himself as the beast manipulates his body and fractures his anatomy to create a new sort of beast, essentially. And he takes down his friend, this time scratching at his face with his own nailless fingers, but still managing with enough strength to dig and dig and dig, like a restless dog finding a bone that he forgot he had buried there. And this other man starts to be filleted alive.
Awesome. I think Sai is going to start to react to the visceralness of everything I'm seeing. And although I'm not going to go into any sort of frenzy, I think I'm just going to get a little bit I feel this, like, almost like intrusive compulsion to I just feel, I just nothing but rage. I think about the pain, I think about the hatred, and I just, although I have no beast form, I just want to claw the shit out of one of the Nazis' eyes and just start bashing the skull in. At this point, I'm just gonna go full on. Just let the madness out, essentially. Well, almost like sobbing at this point because I just need it out.
As you start to cry and have this very emotional reaction, Alexander, Asai is a new friend, but a dear one. And they had always exhibited their truest emotions front and center, even when they felt that they didn't know what they were feeling, or even if they didn't make sense what they were saying. It's very clear what they feel, at least to you. And you can almost taste the salt of the tears and the iron of the blood as it mixes. And your shadows behind you pulse with this sort of like a... When you were younger, before your embrace, and you were a small child, you had a mother who loved you. And when it was storming out, or when it was particularly dark, or when it was scary in any way, she would wrap you up and you would place your cheek against her chest, and you could hear her heartbeat. And you just let that sound envelop you in this safe, nurturing, like a weighted blanket. And as you are watching your dear friend weep in fear, in revenge, in joy, in confusing joy, your own, what would be a heartbeat, pulses in the shadows and creates this sort of maternal nurturing blanket that envelopes the room. And it slips over Essence's shoulders. In essence, you feel the whatever safe, nurturing, powerful woman in your life used to squeeze your shoulder or touch your cheek to offer you some escape from the turmoil of the day. And that sort of goes over to Sai. And as you are clawing and biting and scratching and screaming and sobbing, you feel Alexander's weight, the softness and the love over you as protection, letting you have this moment and feel it how you need to feel it, but knowing that you don't have to do it alone.
So I pause for a second and look over. I make contact with Essence and then Alexander, and I just kind of mutter I share a little moment of gratitude and just say thank you. And just kind of like wipe the blood up and just almost regain some calm and composure in that moment, actually. While standing in like piles and piles of blood.
Essence will probably rip some cloth from one of the Nazis' body to help wipe off Sai.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's I get blood in my eyes sometimes and they water. It's, humans and onions, same thing, really.
Yeah, it is totally fine. I totally get it.
There's an explosion and a pop of a skull like a grape.
Oh.
As Alexander is just ruining another Nazi.
There are two more after that one falls to the ground. They are literally cowering in the corner, like two helpless creatures in the middle of a blackout in a storm.
Not for long.
Who wants one? Like, should we like figure out who gets one? Because there's 3 of us, but there's 2 of them. So let's figure out who gets the finale here.
You
Ladies,
two.
by all means.
I was like, you two can definitely get the last blow. Or I can just sick up my. I know what I said. Or I can let my dog here, like the feral Nazi guy, go at it also. Up to you guys.
I just want to see if I can make one hold their breath enough until they stop breathing.
Alexander will
That's a good
wave
one.
his hand with the like silver glove. Just have fun.
All right, so I'm gonna walk over to like one of the little like I'm covered probably at this point in complete blood, and I just want to turn to the one to the right and just look at them and say, "Hold your breath." I'm just gonna make eye contact and watch their lips turn blue. And also motion essence. You got the other one.
She'll like power over the second one and be like, "You are so pathetic," and like sick her dog Nazi man after him just to make sure you get killed by one of your comrades.
As the feral one goes to dispatch the one beside the one holding his breath, the one that's holding his breath looks over in a panic, his hands on his throat as he's trying to scream or breathe and realizing he can't because he is holding his breath. And as the feral one is quite literally gouging out this person's eyeballs and scooping him out with his thumbs, the other one just falls unconscious and ceases breathing and then dies.
Wasn't that just fantastic?
Scrumptious. Are there any others?
Just the feral one left over.
Huh.
Sadly, there'll be more
Mm-hmm.
for generations.
Mm-hmm.
But we have at least done some of our part. There are other nights to murder Nazis. Are there not?
Mm-hmm.
Sai,
There are.
when you say that there are others, there will be others for generations, are you within, or do you touch the other two at all?
Oh, have I touched, like physically touched any other Nazis?
No, you, your kindred comrades. Are you within touching or, like within touching, reaching distance to them?
I think I'm next to Essence here, but I don't know how far away Alexander is, but probably. At this point, we're all probably like, celebrating.
Just watching
Getting rid of a
the
bunch of
feral
blood.
one
I
in the corner.
imagine it's all splattered with blood, just like
Yeah.
across my face, across like Essence's face, and we're all
Yeah.
kind of close, almost embracing after having had our embraces,
Yeah.
reveling.
Sai, you have a moment where it feels like your premonitions, but it is in a perfect world where you always ask for consent to touch. You find your body kind of T-pose to either side of your blood-soaked friends and touch their shoulders. And your mind opens up to them. And Essence, you feel like almost like if Sai were to open up a door to not just your mind, but your whatever fuels your belief and your faith and your concreteness of knowing what's to come. And the same with you, Alexander. There is a trust that you have with Sai, where anything that they show you might as well be fact until proven otherwise. And the three of you can hear sounds far away in the corners of your mind, but in a different time, in a different place, but not outside of the realm of possibility. You hear speeches, angry speeches. You hear marches and chanting. You hear train whistles. You hear screaming and sirens. You hear babies crying, women crying, men begging. You hear fire burning. You hear bombs dropping. You hear more crying, more begging, more chanting. But then those chants start turning into protests and singing and joyful celebration. Not without the hate, not without the screaming and the crying and the begging. But as the sounds, the cacophony of emotions run its course through your bodies, the celebrations, the singing, the feeling of the sun on your skin and being able to enjoy it with people you love as you fight for something much bigger than yourselves. Those things sort of are louder. They hold more meaning. And the three of you in a room full of dead Nazis with the blood of the first of waves of many, you realize you have each other, and you have those that are outside, and you have the rest of Berlin. And even when Berlin falls one day and is rebuilt, you will continue to have more and more. And the people power of the ones who want to feel the sun and want to celebrate and want to be bold and audacious and authentic and vivacious and artistic and curious and sexual and liberated. Those are the chants, and those are the songs that will fill your tomorrows for as long as you have them. And that, my friends, is the end of this vampire story.
Happy fucking Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, everyone.
And along with all of your XP, you each get one free brick. So make sure you get your bricks on your way out.
Awesome.
Smooth.
Well done. I am so happy that you all wanted to do this. It was so great. Thank you so much, Taylor, for joining us and helping
Yes,
out
thank you.
Alex and Sai fuck up a bunch of fascists. It was amazing.
Amazing time. Literally crying over here.
Aw.
It was beautiful.
I want to give you all the stage and shout yourselves out and promote yourselves. Like, do this selfishly, please. I'll go from left to right. Please tell me all of the things you're in and where we can find you. And I have chat commands here too ready to go. And we'll start with Juicy.
Yes, hi, I'm Juicy Garland, Boston area drag queen and super nerd. You can find me at Juicy Garland and at juicy.garland. Just search one, you'll find the other. I am in All Our Faults, which is a Monster Hearts 2 actual play podcast produced by Tabletop Tailspinners that I am so proud to be part of, and I hope you listen. Give it a shot. And in addition to that, coming up very soon, I will be playing Monster of the Week with Game Master Mondays as the most bananas red string conspiracy theorist you have ever seen.
I love it so much. And over to Taylor.
Hi, I'm Spunky Taylor. You can just call me Taylor, she, her pronouns. Again, I would like to say I feel so grateful and blessed to be part of this group tonight. Literally crying over here. Amazing talent. You guys are amazing. Big loves and hearts to you guys. You guys can find me and Spunky Taylor on everything. I have a lot of games that's coming around right now, but you can see me every other Monday on Epiphany Games 616, playing Hilliard University is a historical Black magical college that you can see every other Monday. We'll be ending soon. We have 5 more sessions left, so please come on down. All the episodes is on YouTube to see that. See those there. I will also be on Game Master Mondays for Camp Metaview. Also, you see my girl Imani experiencing puberty for the second time. It's kind of crazy. How is that even possible? And if you like conventions and whatnot, I will be at OMG Con in Kentucky. If you guys are going to be there, I would love to say hello and hug you and do all the things. Yeah.
Yay. That's the only reason I would go to Kentucky is to see you. And
We're pretty fun.
And over to them.
All right. Well, honestly, the biggest honor to get to play with y'all. Erin, huge thanks. That was the yes and the ending just really. You got us all teary eyed, and we could feel the hope. So thank you so much for that. And for the rest of the cast, y'all are gorgeous and did a wonderful job. And yeah, I'm just feeling so grateful to be at this in this game with y'all. So you'll see me on Threads and Instagram as under Themme Faetale, and I'm actually it's a quiet season right now, but coming summer I'm looking for more opportunities to collabs, whether to join a table or DM, but we'll see what it brings.
Yay.
Thanks.
Thank you so much. I love Sai's character. Sai is how Malkavians is like my standard for Malkavians. You do
100%.
right?
Yeah.
You do such a good job at bringing such beautiful depth to a character, to a clan that kind of gets dismissed as the crazy ones, and it's so lovely. And Taylor, just another shout out to you. I was so excited to ask you to play, and I was really excited to make it work where you could be in this one shot and reveal yourself before you came into the Philly proper. So it's really cool that this is that we have a cellar full of serpents with which to finally realize in our modern nights. So I'm so happy your cosplay, you killed it. So immersive, and I love Essence so much. And of course, Juicy, you just make me smile every time. You're wonderful. I consider you my friend. You were just a genuinely kind person, and I love that I was able to facilitate this for you. So thank you for being here. And I am your storyteller, erinmylaundry. I'm the founder of the TTRPG Collective. It is a Discord server of over 700 so far for and by TTRPG players in and adjacent to the industry, providing mutual aid, support, education, and games. And it's free, and you should all, if you haven't, you should all join. It's where I met a lot of you. And I also run all of the Philly by Night games. Although I am not the only Philly by Night DM, there is another Philly by Night game on YouTube, and I'm so sorry, I keep forgetting the name of it, and I'm gonna find it while I'm talking. And it is a all BIPOC cast, including the DM, and it's wonderful, and the story is incredible. And I'm on the second episode now, and it's lovely. So you should go follow that, John, and see their story. It's amazing. On this side of things, this was a charity stream for Galay, a QT BIPOC led and minded organization that facilitates the exchange and giving of resources and services in the QT BIPOC Philly community. And we are also giving away, not just in this one, but our next Pride charity also to Galay episode, merch from Philadelphia Printworks, which is a Black-owned clothing company that makes clothing based on made by BIPOC artists, and a lot of their funds go to charities and communities that need it. So one random person and the top donor for today's game and the next game will be getting a shirt or sweatshirt or anything from the site of their choice, and which I'll reach out to you after the probably tomorrow. And for the month of June, Philly by Night 15 is a discount code you can use on PPW for 15% off your order. I think I handled all of the stuff now. So check us out next week. We have the full Camarilla Coterie coming up soon. We've got another vignette coming up. And on June 5th, check me out on Roll D5 with Juicy as we play Drags from Mars for another Pride charity event. And I'll be playing Duke. He loves tall boys, tall women, and he'll try anything twice. So that's it. That's all I have. I'm sorry I talked my mouth off at the end. Thank you so much again for doing this and being here. And thank you, chat. And we are going to find a channel to raid. I've completely forgot about that. Unless if my honey already has one set up. But I don't think there's
Can
one
I make
there.
a suggestion?
Yes, make a suggestion.
Winter Tales is out, I think, for chapter 1 of Castleton right now.
Oh, yeah. Winter... Is it Winter's Tales or Winter Tales?
Yes, with the S.
Winter's Tales. That's right. We're going to go raid into the Castleton event that a lot of people are in. So I'm going to set that up while we're here. And, oh, thank you so much. Thank you. We're going to send some friends over there. So, again, everybody, thank you so much. Happy Pride. We hope you enjoyed this brutal, romantic, sexy story of being gay, doing no crimes. No crimes were had. And that's it. And we're out of here. Goodbye, everybody.
They're not people.
Exactly. And goodbye, everybody.